What's up, guys? Mr. Fit to Flourish today, and today I'm going to talk about how this daily planning is helping out with my trades a lot more, and what trades I took today. Today is July 10th, and really the past week I've been taking these trades, but I know you guys like these recaps, so I'm going to show you some stuff. Let's get right into it. Alrighty, so we have a crypto week next week. Today, like I said, is July 10th, 2025. Next week, starting, what would that be? July, let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, July 14th, all the way to the 18th. We're going to see that crypto week. But July 16th to the 18th, there's going to be that crypto event in Berlin, Germany. And what's going on right now, Bitcoin is hitting all-time highs. So Bitcoin is currently at 116K. By the time this video comes out, maybe it'll be at 120, 572 or even higher. But yeah, it's only halfway to its target for the month. The target for the month is going to be 122,420. All right, how do I know? I use Saudi ATRs. Alrighty. But anyways, what trade did we take today? All right, and I want to kind of show. This was a pretty quick trade. Like I said, I'm probably going to put in the title of the video, oh, it made 2K in 2 minutes. And it really was 2 minutes. I got in and only with 18 contracts, and then went up 35%. And I was like, oh, and this is at work, by the way, while I'm working. Okay, while I'm working, I get in and then I check again. I'm like, oh, get out, because I got to work. All right. So anyways, did that. But what did we do for the game plan? So the game plan, I want to share this tab here. Game plan in the Discord, also free 3-day trial for the Discord below, but this is the game plan. So the night before, I said, hey, MSTR is probably going to be on call watch early morning. It's the name that I'm looking for. Key levels that I was looking for was that 410 level. It looked like we ripped up pretty quickly and could potentially pull back, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. I'll show you this more. I'll show you the chart. But yeah, we pulled back to that 410 level, and then if we broke that, then it would be cooked. It would be absolutely cooked. But I didn't think we were going to break that. And then I also mentioned the level that we go above. So recently, I've been charting, as you guys know, I've been charting for years. But recently, I figured out, I was like, yo, like, let me just be a lot more patient on my trades, and because I literally I can look at a chart and I can tell you where to go long and where to go short, and then it's stupid to be trading in the in between. So I'm like, dude, the only time I lose is when I'm trading in that in between, and then I don't account for how much the trade can go against me. So basically, that was the below that. That's the short area. Above this, that's the long area. Okay, 415, 12. So I said, hey, Bitcoin needs to hold 112 because MSTR is a company that owns a ton of Bitcoin. So as long as Bitcoin's moving, MSTR is moving, and it's crypto week, so people are loading up on Bitcoin, and as you can see, we're at all-time highs now. So what was the plan? I said I'll be watching the volume and tape speed around these levels for an aggressive entry. Right? I wanted to be more aggressive, but again, I'm at work. I can't really size in too much. Okay. So anyways, so I gave that update to the group, and then early on in the morning, I mentioned what calls I took. I took the 420, which you saw here. Yeah. So the 420 strike, 7/11 expiration. So 1 day to expiration contracts, which is basically a Friday expiration, but it was the 420 strike, all right, which was a pretty good strike. So now I want to share this tab. All right, going back to this tab, going to MSTR. So again, like I had mentioned, I was like, all right, well, boom and a boom. Let's go to the 2-hour time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so yeah, so the previous day we closed right at this 415 level, which is on my chart, it's a key level. And if we break above that, then we should make a pretty good move up, and we did. So let's go to the 5-minute time frame and talk about, hey, what did I do in the trade? Because you know what the game plan was. But now, how do you get into this trade, right? So let's see, Thursday. All right. So boom. So the day opened, we gapped down. Okay, so we gapped down to 412 from yesterday's close was at 415.63, and we gapped down to this 412.40 level. And notice one thing that I noticed was I'm like, all right, well, we had a pullback here, so we had a micro double bottom right there. So we need to pretty much hold that area there. We need to hold that area. And if we fall below this, then this is probably cooked. All right, I was like, this is probably cooked. So it showed some support there, and then early on in the morning showed support at that same level. Showed support there, but then we also showed resistance here. I was a little bit nervous. I was like, damn, dude, maybe I'm wrong about this trade. But the thing that really helps me when getting into these trades is I'm looking at the volume RSI. The volume RSI was extremely big, which means that there's a lot of volume coming in, and it never came down. Look from here all the way over. We're above that purple space. So usually when we get into the purple space and we go all the way down, we sell off. Okay, but we were above that purple space. We're above 70 and holding. This is what I love. I love when the volume RSI is that big because and like it's large and flat, because that tells me that there's so much buying pressure that whatever's happening on the chart, don't worry about it. Like if we're pulling back, don't worry about it. It's manipulation. It's gonna shoot up. Anyways, that being large and flat, I was like, okay, so we're good here. So now let me look at the chart. So we had resistance here, and I was like, dang, dude, are we gonna sell off? And I looked here to the left. I'm like, nope, we probably won't. This is gonna be our level. Okay. So then we pushed up, came back down, but then we had buyer step in again. So we had multiple bottom side wicks here. Bottom side wicks shows you that buyers are stepping in. Okay, when you see bottom side wicks, that means buyers are stepping in. All right, and I read candles, candle by candle, like zone by zone, candle by candle. I can read the chart pretty well. Okay, and then the move that got me kind of excited was here. So we had a micro double bottom. We had a huge bullish move above 415. And I wanted confirmation of entry. Like I wanted to see a retest of this key level, the 415. So I was like, oh man, that's a big topside wick still. We're still rejecting this area. So I could have entered right here, but I didn't. So I saw this pullback and I was like, yo, we held, and it was a major pullback. It was fast. It was like, drop down. So we held this level multiple times, and we had a micro double bottom, bullish engulfing bar. And we're above the 20 moving average, the 9 moving average. I'm like, bro, this is super bullish. And on that move down, the volume RSI did not change. Okay, it was still big and flat. All that is telling me is, all right, we are in a major demand zone. We're holding these highs really, really well. Even though it looks like a supply zone, it's really not, because we're still above the 9, we're still above the 20. We have buyers below, and then Bitcoin was still pushing up. I'm like, yo, this is. I was like, this is about to rip. We're gonna if we hold this, now my risk to reward ratio becomes absolutely fucking ridiculous. All right, so, and I use ATR, so I was using the daily ATR, and I was like, all right, we're probably gonna go test that call zone first. All right, so what was my target? So I entered. He actually showed where I entered. So I entered on the pullback on this red bar, which is, it's not my typical entry. Typically I wait for a bullish move to the upside, blah, blah, blah. But lately I've been entering using supply and demand strategies because I'm pretty good at reading price action. So I was like, okay, we're going to hold this. I want to get as close to this low as possible. Okay. And I got in right here at 413.60. Okay, 413.60. I got those contracts. It was the 420 strike, 711 expiration calls. Okay, so I got MSTR calls, 420 strike. Let me actually close this here. 420. Come on, strike. 711 expo. Okay. 420 strike, 711 expiration. And I got in around here at 413.60. And then we continued to pull down. I was like, oh, and it was fast. It was like, boom. And then it stayed down here. And I was like, oh, I'm cooked. I was like, oh, I'm cooked. Because my stop was going to be at this micro double bottom. If we close, and I like to stop on, stop out after a close. So if we have a wick come down, like all the way down here, I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out of the play. Okay, until that 5-minute candle closes. I've after years and years of documenting and watching the chart, I figured out, like, all right, well, we'll get these massive wicks just to stop people out of their positions, but it's gonna get bought back up. Okay, so we pulled back down to that micro double bottom, but notice again, bottom side wicks. We have buyers in this area, obviously. So then we started getting bought back up, and I was like, okay, this is a really nice candle close. Big bottom side wick, bouncing off that 20 MA, bouncing off of that sell zone, so we don't want to sell off. So we're pushing up, boom. We got this candlestick above, and I was like, holy moly, beef ravioli. So we got a really good push to the upside, and I pretty much exited up here because it was at 35% already. Even though my target was up here to 420, which we actually hit, that would have been disgusting. That would have been like 100% gain. But anyways, 30% gain there. And I was at work, so I had to get out. I had to get out. So it started pulling back a little bit, and I just exited, took my 35%, and got the heck out of there. But I really wanted to leave this position on, but I didn't know if I would have time to wait for it to hit that and then get out and then go back to work. So I was like, all right, get out of there. So I got out there pretty quickly here, but we ended up hitting that target. So how did I set that? How did I set that target? How did I keep my stop? So again, my stop was just basically where I saw a lot of support, and the micro double bottoms are pretty significant. I made a video on this, but they show you a level that price buyers and sellers are agreeing that we should not close below. So if you have a micro double bottom just when a bar closes and then opens right next to each other at a low, not the absolute low, which is the wick down here, but at a low, okay, an area of demand basically. So micro double bottom there, and if we close below that, that means that okay, now we're gonna go into discovery mode, into discovery to the downside. We're gonna find a new low, but that never happened. Okay, so I set my stop right there, which I think was a very good stop. Okay, and then I set my target up here at what's called the call zone ATR. So usually stocks move from ATR, average true ranges, to average true ranges. They move from ATR to ATR. So this was the sell ATR. So if we get below that, that means we're going to sell off. And then we ended up coming up to the call ATR. And you just have to know that based on like studying the charts a lot. So I kind of treat it like football. When I played football, I used to watch film, and now that I'm trading, hey, I'm watching film. All right. So anyways, what was my risk to reward ratio? And that's one thing that I've been trying to keep extremely high, the risk to reward ratio. I want it to be really big for me to get into the trade. So I was risking this downside. My entry was up in here, and then my reward was up here. So it was a 3.83 3R. Okay. So 3.83 risk to reward ratio, which is phenomenal. You want it to be at least a 2. So that means for every dollar that you lose, you can gain X amount of dollars. So for every dollar I could lose, I could gain 3.83 times that amount. Okay. But where did I actually end up exiting? So I actually ended up exiting right at about a 2, which is still phenomenal. I exited at a 2. But if I was able to capture that entire move, that would have been absolutely insane. And if I was sitting at the charts, I would actually let it go to my target. And I know some people have like multiple targets, like, oh, take profit 1, take profit 2. I like to, I read price action so much that I know exactly where stocks are gonna go. So I usually just take all my profit off the table all at once, and I don't even worry about like the extra. Sometimes I'll leave a little bit, but very rarely I just take everything off the table, because at that point you're kind of leaving it up to chance, and I'm like, I like to be an exact trader. But yeah, so what was that? Risk to reward ratio 3.83. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much the game plan for today. Was, hey, this was my game plan, and I had another game plan for SPY. I'll probably make another video on that. It's gonna take too long. This video is kind of long. So that was my game plan for MSTR. Why did I take it? Because it was an in-play stock. You want to kind of be trading stuff to make trades easy. Trade stuff that has news on it, things that are actually moving, things that have a lot of volume. So MSTR had all that going on. Crypto week next week. Bitcoin's hitting all-time highs. MSTR owns a lot of crypto, or a lot of Bitcoin. So it just kind of made sense. And then the chart looked really good too. It was breaking out. Okay. Anyways, it's your boy, Mr. Fit to Flourish. Hopefully this helps you kind of look at, hey, how are you getting into trades? Because I talk a lot about 920 crossovers and bullish like momentum plays, but I'm getting a lot more into. I've been documenting and getting a lot more into these supply and demand trades where you get in pretty much almost at the absolute low, and if it goes below that, then you know it's a bad trade. But right at the absolute low, you're able to capture a lot more. And I noticed that those are my biggest and most consistent gains. And then my risk is so small that if it goes against me, then all right, boom, I'm out and I lose. My losses are way smaller now. So doing extremely well with trading. So I will see you guys on the next one. It's your boy Mr. Fit to Flourish, and I'm out. What's up, guys? It's your boy Mr. Fit to Flourish. If you like this content when it comes to trading or fitness or just growing in person, feel free to click any of the links in the bio. So we have a link for our Discord for trading, and that trading Discord, we have a free 3-day trial that's going on. But if you're not someone who really likes trading, or if you want to grow as a person in terms of mindset, your finance, your health, wealth, spiritual fitness, and you like that content, we do have a group specifically tailored to helping men grow. That Discord link is in the bio. We have a free section, and then we have a paid section where we go more in detail and do one-on-ones. If you want to do one-on-ones, again, those links have all the things that you want to see. If you want to see more of this content, you like this content, keep liking, subscribing, and doing all that YouTube-y stuff. Check out the Discords down in the links below. Good morning, welcome to the Fit to Flourish podcast. Let's talk wellness, finance, and growth.